In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Making Tax Digital function built within Hive. This video is going to assume that you've already set up the connection to MTD and you've already got the authorization through your HMRC portal. If you need help doing this, then just please contact a member of the team. So to start with, you need to search for VAT Return Periods. Once you're in this screen, you need to select Process, Get VAT Return Periods, and then you need to enter the date for the quarter of the return that you want to bring back. So the start date and the end date of the quarter. This will then connect to your HMRC portal and bring back the quarter, and you'll see the due date of this VAT return. Now, when you've used this a few times, you'll also see all your previous returns within here as well. Once you've generated a VAT return period, you now need to create the VAT return. So from Process, select Create VAT Return. And yes, you want to open the VAT return card. Once you've created the VAT return, you need to suggest the lines to populate this VAT return. Now to do this, you go to Process, Suggest the lines. You need to have the following settings. So open VAT entries. Before and within the period if you want to. You can have just within the period, but if you've back posted anything, it's recommended you have before and within the period. The statement template and statement name should be pre-filled. If not, you should only have one available. It could be VAT or it could be called default. Because we've generated this VAT statement from within a return, it should have pre-populated all of the period, year, type, number, and start and end date as well, but double check this information is correct. Press OK. And it's going to generate your VAT return, so you've got your normal 9 boxes as you would expect. Now, it's up to you to make sure that these are correct. It's completely within your responsibility to double check these figures. Once you've submitted these, it's yourself that is liable. So from this stage here, I need to release this document. So again, under Process at the top, I select Release. And if I'm happy to submit this to the HMRC, then I select Submit. And I'm going to get my warning again, making sure that the system is well aware that it's my responsibility if I'm submitting this to the HMRC. So we want to continue. Yes, we do. There are means and ways to check your VAT entries. I can do another video that goes into detail about checking the VAT entries if you have any issues with this. So yes, I want to continue. So that VAT has now been submitted. And you can see here the status is accepted. Now under Actions, I can download submission messages. And let's just open this up. So it's just good to keep for your records. It's essentially telling you what you've submitted. So where you would previously go to the HMRC and type these in, this is just the data that has been submitted through your system. So from this stage, there is still something that we need to do, and we need to post the VAT to the general ledger account. So this is essentially closing down all those VAT entries so they don't accidentally get brought into the next VAT return. So this stage is very essential. So under VAT settlement, you need to select Calculate and Post VAT Settlement. And it's going to open the starting date, end date, posting date, etc. Now I like to change these settings. So for me, the starting date, I like to go back to when I started using the system. Now this is because you notice that when I did the VAT return, I had the option of selecting within or before and within the period. Because I selected before and within, anything that was back posted was also submitted in that VAT return. So I like to take this date range all the way back to when I first started using the system. So I go back to the 1st of January 2018 because I could in theory have back posted all the way back then if I wanted to. The posting date I will change to the end of the VAT period, so I'll change that to the end of August so the VAT gets posted then. The document number is automatic. The settlement count, you need to, depending on how this is set up, you want to search for your VAT liability account or your VAT settlement account. And this is where it's going to post the VAT liability for you. So just to confirm, if you've gone within the period, just have the period dates here. If you've gone for before and within the period, the starting date must be set back to before the earliest back posted invoice that you've done. So if you've back posted to before the period, just make sure that this is before then. This is why, again, I like to go all the way back to when I started using the system. It doesn't do any harm, it's just very safe. So from this point, I want to show VAT entries because I want the document and I want to post. So this would be the very typical setup. You have extra options here if you have a more complex setup, but this will be the very standard sort of setup. Again, before you do this, please run it past your accountant and just make sure that they're happy with what you're suggesting. So from this stage, I'll go to send to Excel document, press OK. Now this is taking all of the VAT entries, closing the VAT entries down, and then posting the liability to the chart of accounts or to your balance sheet. Now this can take a few minutes. Once the VAT entries have been posted and the document's been generated, please keep hold of the document, as this is important if you are ever to get VAT investigated. This is the detail of everything that's gone into the VAT return. So from this stage, if you actually want to look at your VAT returns now, so if you search for VAT returns instead of VAT return periods, you can see the VAT returns, and we can see that this is a digital one that has been accepted. I can open the VAT return up and actually get back to what was submitted. So I hope that helps. Again, if there are any questions, then please let me know. Thank you.